Hey everybody, it's Ben Duke, and today we're going to talk about how to create a daily victory list. And I couldn't be more excited because you know what? It's so important to understand how to have each day have the most meaning possible. Because the difference between living and just existing is having meaning in our life. I want us to wake up and be clear, have clarity and focus on what we're doing each day so that once we complete each task, we're excited. It gives us not just an excitement for life, but a joy to be getting things done that are important to us. So let's dive into it. So number one, mind dump. So what we want to do is we want to write down all the things that we need to get done the very next day. And you can do this on a grander scale as well, but let's just keep it for the daily focus right now. So we're going to mind dump. Let's say we have 10 things that we write down that we need to get done. Number two is we're going to prioritize that list. All right, we're going to put what's most important, number one, what's second important, number two, and all the way down the list. Now, you may have heard of Pareto's principle, and that means this. Typically in a list of 10 things, the top two things are going to literally be the focus of getting 80% of the work done, which means that if you get the top two things done, you've literally gotten so much more done than if you were to get the bottom four done that really didn't mean that much to you. Number three, obstacles. Now I know it's great to think that everything's just going to go perfectly, but that's just not life. So it's so important to be able to list out the obstacles that may happen that next day and come up with a strategy so that if they do happen, you know exactly what you're going to do so you can pivot and keep going. Number four, have clear timelines and deadlines. Now let's talk about the timelines first. Now your brain works really, really well for a short burst of time. 50 minutes is about the time that your brain starts to tap out and you start to kind of slow down. Your retention's not as good, you can't focus as well. So we want to keep our timelines in 50-minute increments. So if you have a task that's going to take a little bit longer than 50 minutes, just block out 2 blocks for that task to get completed. Next, deadlines. It's so important that we set a deadline for ourselves because when we stretch ourselves and push ourselves to get something done in a specific time frame, we actually work harder. So it's good because otherwise, we kind of just leave it open and leave it in the air. And you know what happens? We usually maximize the amount of time it takes us to get things done. And we usually wait to the last possible minute for them to get accomplished. Number 5, we got to schedule what we have to get done. Now, we might have calendars. So when we look at the next day, make sure that we're not conflicting in the times in which we're going to do things. And so we can budget the amount of time from our timeline sheet and we can put it into our calendar so that we know exactly if it's 9 a.m., I'm doing this. If it's 5 p.m., I'm doing this. And now for a bonus. I want you to think about this. When you look at your list each and every day, you got to ask yourself 3 questions. Is there anything on this list that I could delegate? And is there anything on this list that I could automate? And last, is there anything on this list that I could eliminate? And these are great questions to ask because it really helps you kind of formulate the things that aren't that important and get them out of the way. All right? I hope this has been extremely beneficial to you. Please comment below and make sure to like the page.